Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much
Yes,
for joining
sir.
us. If it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners, new and old.
hmm
My name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Also, check out our socials and our new ones on TikTok and YouTube.
Yes, sir. Check us out everywhere that we are. We're everywhere that you can even imagine. But today we got a special guest in the building, so I wanted to go ahead and introduce herself.
Hey y'all, this is Tristan, better known as Trap Money Trizzy, and I'm excited to be here with the Friends Podcast. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. We're excited to have you in here so we can have
Yes,
some great
ma'am.
conversation about some good topics for sure. But let's kind of get into it how we usually do. So, what's been going on with you this week, Rod?
This week, I actually just got a new vinyl from Amber, 3000 Degrees, so I was excited about that. But at work, I had some bullshit that happened. The file got corrupted, and I had to pretty much start over about 50% of the project I had just got done. So I'm redoing all that over right now. Probably gonna take me another week for that. But other than that, what about you? What you got up?
To me or for me, nothing for real. Like just kind of kicking in and chilling. I had like the last couple of days off, so like I haven't been doing anything but just like laying on the couch and eating and like just chilling.
For what though? You just taking a day off? You you
You ever
deserve
feel
it?
like you just like about to go like insane, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, or just I just felt like it's just like, man, I just need to sit down before like, I need to recalibrate my thoughts and like make sure that I'm thinking straightly because I mean I would say in my job I have a lot of thinking to do, so I just have to make sure I'm like up for the tasks and stuff like that. So I was like, let me take a couple of days off,
Yeah.
just kind of
Hashtag
recalibrate.
self-care. We love to hear that.
You got to do it. You got to do it. So what about you, Tristan? What's been going on with you for this? This past week.
This past week has been straight. I just got in. I'm trying to invest in buying a home right now. So I've been
Okay.
doing a lot of home searching. And that's been okay. It's just hard trying to find a good location and a good place for the price. But in terms
Mhm.
of work, my work has also been bullshit. I'm starting to really feel the weight of being like one of the only Black women at my job. And
Oh my God.
especially in the higher position that I am, like I think they try to discredit the work that I do, or not necessarily recognize it the way that they should. So just dealing with that, but that's everywhere. That's everyday type shit.
Yeah, and I was kind of talking about that like at my job. Damn, I shouldn't even say that because if they listen, they're gonna be like, "Damn, he hates this job." But like, I was kind of talking about this the other day because I was saying like because I work in IT, and if I go to we don't. It's not too many Black people in IT at my company, and depending on where you go, it's probably not gonna be a lot of Black people around anyway. So it's just kind of like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like you kind of just gotta get your money and be yourself. Like is that kind of
Yeah.
your experience? Like how have you been dealing with that?
Really, that's all I can do. I think I'm the type of personality where I'm gonna do what I do regardless of what you think, and I'm not gonna let that stop me. Like this is one little nail in the road, I guess you could say. It's not gonna stop my shine, and I know how to
Hmm.
work around it. So just trying to maneuver without stepping on nobody else's toes. I don't want to be that's the thing too, as a Black woman, you don't want to come off as the angry Black bitch. But I just been trying to make it work.
So what type of issues you been going through at work? Just like a couple of them.
Well, there should be like a promotion coming up soon, and when you work in a place that I do where there's a lot of white men, they give them credit for just being white men, whereas it might not necessarily be due. Not to say, my coworker, if they are listening, they do a great job, but I just think I deserve the same type of recognition. So that's been
Absolutely.
my issue.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to navigate. I feel like even our parents and our parents probably been going through that shit for a very long time.
Yes,
So
a
it's like we
long
still haven't found the
time.
answer yet.
Hmm.
But I mean, it got to be. I mean, we can make our own corporation. I don't know. I don't know if
Maybe
that's the answer
so.
either though.
Okay.
you think the solution is working twice as hard?
It's crazy because do I think that is a good solution? That probably is a good solution for me, but do I want to do that? Fuck no. That's
Hell
not
no.
something that I feel like I should have to do. But am I going to? I mean, that's just unfortunately that's the way the world works. Like y'all said, we've been dealing with this for how long? So I work twice as hard and still feel like it's not recognized, but I'm gonna get to it. I don't mind the work. I'm a hard worker anyway, so I'm gonna do it if that's what it means to achieve. I'm gonna do it.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes our parents was telling us some bullshit though, because I definitely was hearing that as a kid. Like, you gotta work twice
Yes,
as hard.
and you like
But
why?
I feel like that's yeah. Like understand. Like now that I'm in the workforce, I understand it. At the same time, like that shit not fair. But I guess
Mm-hmm.
life is not fair. But
Life is just
I
not
don't know.
fair.
Yeah. So all right. So let's kind of get into. I kind of want to. Tristan. I think we met sometime in college. I
We
forgot what year it was, but
did. I don't think you had these locks then, but I recognize the
nah.
face for sure.
Yeah, I think I was I might have been bald back then. Like I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck type time I was on being like
that bald
like
nigga
that
time.
haircut. Yeah, I guess I was, but like so like, I kind of want to I kind of want to talk about that transition from like I kind of want to talk about that transition from like like being in college, being a student and then just kind of transferring into
Yeah. How that trap money tea was born.
Yes, Trap Money. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. That's where she was born at MSU.
So how was that transition like? Because like you said, you have like a little position of power. Not even little. I didn't mean to say little, but you
Yeah,
have
but
a
no.
position of power.
hmm
So like, how was that been like? Even just working through the hierarchy at your company and just outside of college and stuff.
I don't know because in college I felt like, especially we have a large Black community on campus, like it's prevalent. And so I never really had those issues navigating. Me and my friends always talk about the Black community at MSU was kind of its own little world, where you could move around and do what you wanted to, and it really wasn't stepped on by nobody else. You could do what you wanted. Whereas transitioning into this job in a big corporation as the one that I work for now, it's different. It is different, but I've always been able to go back and forth. Like I think in high school, my high school was predominantly white. It was very diverse, but I learned some things where I'm like, okay, this is how I need to navigate. This is how I need to act. So I'm very professional, very, very much so versatile in the way that I can present myself. Um, but I just have had to use those skills a little bit more in this job for sure, or in jobs in general after school.
So how you feel about that? Like you kind of touched on something that I thought was interesting, like that being professional thing. It's like it's almost like they feel like being Black is
Is
not professional. Like
unprofessional.
like being ourselves. Like I'm gonna talk how I talk, regardless. So
hmm
is that are you like a code switching like expert, or like do you kind of like just keep it real and just talk how you talk?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm a code switching expert. I am. I think once I get comfortable in a place, like I'm comfortable at this job now, so they do see a lot more of my personality. Where they like, I know my boss. He's also Black, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, I thought you was one of them Valley girls," and that's because I do
One
come
of
off
them.
that way. One of them ones. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm a code switcher for sure. I hate that about myself sometimes, but it has worked in my favor. But as soon as I get comfortable in a job and feel like I can trust people and feel like I know who to be a certain way with, then I don't know. I can balance it. It's a balance for sure.
I be hearing there's like a issue with Black women with hairstyles. Do you find that issue there?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. When I first started this job, I'm one to switch up my hairstyle often. Like that's something that I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, white people just have questions. Like this guy's like, "What happened to your hair?" I'm like, "I took my weave out." But that's just what you got to deal with. That's just what you got to deal with.
I know they ain't never tried to touch it though, right?
Let me think. I think white women are more perceptible. I think Black men or white men they be a little iffy. They don't know what your reaction will be if they try to touch your hair. But trust me, I have friends that are like, no, people try to touch my hair at work, and I'm like, that's crazy as fuck. Because why are you touching me
Nah,
at work?
like, yeah, don't even touch me. Like,
Don't
really,
even
we supposed
touch
to still
me.
be like we supposed to be 6 feet for real. Like, if
Come
you
on now, it's still COVID out here.
so like really don't touch me in the first place. But yeah, that's crazy
They
though.
don't say nothing to you, Matt, about the dreads?
Mm.
Nah, they never have, to be honest. Not that I can think of. Like, not white people, but like black people might comment on them, like, "Oh, your shit getting long," or
Mm-hmm.
type of shit like that. But nah, I don't. They might be. I hate talking about myself on this podcast, but
Why?
because I'm not. I like to be vulnerable sometimes, but I feel like I don't know. But okay, so let me kind of. So I heard something about myself at work that kind of made me, kind of second guess myself and just like how I'm coming off.
Oh man.
So I heard that like when I wasn't around, they was like, "Oh, yeah, he's very intimidating. He's very intimidating."
Mm.
And I don't know if it's because of like I'm a big black nigga. I don't know if it's because of dreads. Like, do I look like an NFL player? Like,
Yeah.
or like a nigga that tackle you or some shit, or is it just my demeanor?
You
So
thought
it's
just
like,
because you black?
honestly, I can't. I don't know. If I feel like, but you know how I feel though. If you ain't really say it to me, then how can I really try to dissect it? I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I heard you was saying."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's like if you ain't say it to me, then I can't
You
really.
don't think it's no truth to it?
It is.
You
It is
intimidating
true
at
to it for
work?
sure. I think I am. I don't really be saying too much to a lot of people, but I mean that's just my personality. But I just thought it was interesting because they probably wouldn't say that about another person, probably my same height, my same size, maybe a black dude or a white dude with a mullet. Like they wouldn't say that to him.
Yeah.
They'll say he
Well,
cool.
they might, maybe not in the same way and maybe not as much, but I think when people are quiet or if somebody can't figure something out about you, like you're just not open with your personality, they feel intimidated off rip automatically
Mm-hmm.
because they can't figure you out. So it might be, well, the mullet guy, they might try to relate, with you.
Right.
They might not feel like they can relate on any level, especially if you're not given that.
And it's like the mullet guy, like, oh, they got a cousin that look like that. Like that they
Yeah.
see every Christmas and Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like they don't really see niggas like me every day. So
Right.
it's like
Right.
so I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic, just navigating these white spaces, in the corporate world. But we gotta do it. Like I said, like we
Mhm.
can't really unless we gonna start our own corporations, like that's kind of just where we at with it.
Mm.
But
I mean, even in a black office, you got to talk, and you don't think you'd be called intimidating?
no, I would talk more in the black office because I feel like we could relate, I would. But like I said, I don't think there's many black IT companies out there,
There's got to be some in the South for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like if y'all know, like let me, throw me a link right quick. But yeah, so let's kind of get into, so like what's life like now, just outside of college and outside of work? Like, what type of shit that do you be on, in your day-to-day life, Tristan?
Well, I don't know. I'm a pretty boring ass, basic ass bitch. I like to work out. I think I've taken an affinity to that. Like I love working out. I go out from time to time, but since I've moved back to Indianapolis, because that's my hometown, I don't know. It's been hard
Mm-hmm.
making friends. Black bitches are mean. Not to say all of them. I don't think I'm mean, but it just be hard making friends, I think. Or just trying to get into
You
that
don't have the
mood.
high school friends?
Not a lot that I stayed in touch with, no. And if I do have high school friends, they all have like families at this point. So they not trying to go out on a Saturday night. Like they trying to kick it at home with their kids or even get away from them, but not trying to go out in that way. So, yeah, I think that's just been a little bit hard to navigate. I really been trying to invest in myself. Like you were talking about earlier with the self-care. I feel like sometimes I neglect myself with all the work that I do. And so just trying to get into that mode of putting myself first outside of work and focusing on me in that space. But it's been cool.
Okay. Was it what you expected though? Like, or did you even have expectations back when you was in college, like to
For sure.
what it was going to be?
The life that I'm leading right now, I will say, is completely different than what my expectations were. Just because I had so
Mm.
many. I mean, I think your focus kind of shifts after you get out of college. You might think that you want this certain lifestyle or this certain career path, and especially during quarantine, a lot of that shifted for me, where I had to rethink things like, oh my God, is that really what you want to do for the rest of your life, or is that how you want your life to go? So I think just navigating that and actually coming into adulthood, um, yeah, it's just been different. It definitely has been different, but it's a learning process, and I'm proud of the learning that I'm going through right now.
That's good. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gym though. So like, how you even so like how did what sparked that? Like, was you doing that back then, or was it something that you picked up like recently, or like how did that start?
Honestly, my senior year at MSU, me and my roommate, we were just like, damn, bitch, like we getting fat out here. Like we, I got a cold body underneath all this shit, but like it could do it. It could need some work. So we started running heavy and then going to the gym heavy, and that's kind of just
Mhm.
carried on. I think with this full time job, I work 12-hour shifts, so I think after getting this job maybe a year and a half ago, I kind of fell off of the exercise tip. So now I'm just now trying to get back in it. Like, bitch, you getting fat again. Let's get to it. And so that's how that came about. And it just makes me, honestly, it makes me happier. I can tell a difference in my mood every time I work out or work out consistently anyway. And so it's something that I think I'll probably stick to for the rest of my life now that I've gotten into that zone.
So, what was your goals with working out? Was it to get to a certain weight, just being healthy? Um, are you trying to join a competition,
At the
triathlons,
time, we
marathons?
were trying to join. Yeah, I liked marathoning. I mean, I like the idea of marathoning. Have never marathoned. I used to run a lot to prepare for one and never went to one. But I think initially it was just like I said, you know how you know, well, you guys are men, so maybe you don't know, but you're like, damn, my body could really be cold. Like I got a certain set of shit from my generation,
Yeah.
my family gave me a cold ass body. So I just wanted to work on it. I
No,
knew that
black
I
men think
could
about that
look
too.
better.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like I could go to the
So
gym,
that's
but
really what it initially was. But what? What's the but?
I'm busy.
Oh, you busy. You can always make time. That's what it being too though. Like my health, my mental health, like, I've struggled with just being sad for no reason, and for whatever reason the gym picks me up. My health in terms of just long term, like I'm a drinker, I'm a smoker, so I'm like, nigga, you gotta do something to balance that shit out. And I think for now that's kind of the priority too, just my health long term.
Mm. Was there anything with diet that you did?
See, that's why I ain't get no progress like I could be, because my diet is shit. I literally eat everything. I love food. I don't want nothing healthy. I mean, I eat vegetables. I eat healthy stuff. But I like all the fat shit too. So I'm a diet we gonna leave alone, okay? You calling me out right now.
You know what I was thinking about earlier, like kind of recently. I was thinking about doing like 100-day juice cleanse,
A
just to
hundred
like. So
days?
basically, it's where you, yeah. So basically, you drink just juice like for 100 days.
Whoa.
Oh
You know
my
how skinny
god.
you would get?
I know. That's what I'm
Whoa.
Like you're gonna
saying.
be
That's what I'm saying, boy. I'm telling you. I was thinking about it. I was thinking.
Nigga, maybe
I was thinking
start
about.
with 30. Maybe start with 30 days. This motherfucker done went a whole 3 months
Yeah.
and then some. That's a lot.
Yeah. He gonna look like Shaggy.
I don't know. I need that shit. Hey, shit. I might. That's cool though. That's cool. Like so basically, what you do, you just drink literally juice, like bottles of juice, like many times a day, like ounces on ounces on ounces, and then like you flush everything out your system and all that type of shit. Like, is that something that y'all would even consider doing, like even for like a week or for 3 days? Like, would y'all consider
I mean
that
my
Yeah,
coworker.
for a week, yeah.
for a week? That's it.
hmm Maybe. Maybe some more. It depends how it goes. Like I said, I like my food. But I have done a whole bunch of different fad diets and whatnot. I mean, I think every woman has went through that phase where they like, shit, I'm just trying to make anything work. Let me try it.
The keto, the Atkins,
Listen. The
All that.
Beyonce, the lemonade diet.
What? This is lemonade diet? What? What is that? Just
What?
lemonade every
Yes.
day?
It's not. It's actually just lemon water with like some cayenne pepper and some honey and stuff. Not real lemonade,
It's
but
like Beyonce ain't never
yeah,
did
it
that
is
diet.
that. Oh, come on, y'all missing out. Shit, do 100 days of that shit and see how it works.
I'm gonna be dead for real.
Nigga be dead as hell.
I'm saying.
Give me some
So
of that
like, so
Beyonce
Rod, you was
juice.
gonna say something about you for real. Yo, if she sold that though, because you know her fans love that merch, like
Oh
they'll buy that merch.
yeah, they'll
So
buy
if she
that.
sold like that lemon water, like oh my god. But so Rod, you was gonna say something about your coworker did something similar, like a juice
Yeah, right
cleanse.
after Thanksgiving, he said he did a 2 weeks cleanse where he only did fluids. He said he stopped eating.
Mm.
Only thing he said he did was drink. He's a drinker for sure. So I guess it was just
Mhm.
water and liquor for 2 weeks.
That's crazy as fuck.
But
His liver was fucking screaming.
Yeah, I
he said he
swear.
lost about 15 to 20 pounds though. I was like, damn.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, he said it. He said you feel it like the
Golly.
first few days. He said like it really gets you like you really want to eat. But he said after that, it's all right.
Hmm. I think it's really just a practice of just like self control and just discipline. You know, that's kind of why I want to do it because I be eating some bullshit too. Like I just ate a bunch of pad thai. Like yesterday, I had like a bunch of Indian food. Like I'm just eating whatever the fuck I want to at this
100
point. But
days is
Yeah.
crazy
it's gonna
though.
catch up. It is, but I've been eating crazy and treat my body crazy, drinking all the man. I know I told you about that story when I fell asleep on this nigga balcony, like randomly. Like that's not that's that didn't do that didn't do my body well. You know what I mean? Having that shit inside my system. So it's like, you make crazy decisions, so you kind of got to offset that by doing something crazy. That's how I think about it. So we'll see if that happens. Probably not, but yeah. So workout journey. So you on your workout journey. You know, you're doing healthy stuff. Like, what other kind of ways do you practice self care on a day to day basis?
Really, I'm into my skin. I do a lot of skincare stuff daily. Um, I get my nails done. Like I said, I'm very big on getting my hair and nails done. Like that's just a treat for myself. And just making sure I'm a huge believer in if you look good, you feel good because really looking my best makes me feel my best. So I take a lot of time
Hmm.
with that kind of stuff for sure. And just reading, listening to music, like doing stuff that I don't normally get to do when I'm focused on work. Um, or just
Hmm.
focused on
Hmm.
stuff, goals and stuff like that. Like just something to relax my mind a little bit.
You ever meditated before or did like yoga or something like that?
You know what? I have done yoga and I actually said that this year I was going to start meditating. Have I yet? No. I have been very intentional about reading my Bible verses daily. I've been big into that. Like I'm a huge church goer. So,
Do you choose like a random verse or how do you choose it?
you know what? My Bible app chooses a random verse for me. So they'll send me a notification in the morning at like 8 every morning and I just go ahead and read it. Sometimes I'll read them at night too if they send me a notification. But they choose it and they give you a prayer to pray and kind of break down what the verse is saying and yeah, it's just a little motivation, a daily motivational thing for me. So that's been cool too.
Was church a big thing growing up?
Yes, church is a huge thing in my family. I think I've always been a church goer. I think I kind of stopped in college. I used to try and stream my church because they have a streaming service, but I like my pastor, and I'm kind of like, shit. If you're not doing it like my pastor, I don't know.
How you
But
doing it?
he doing it well. Yeah, Pastor
Okay.
Ramsey, shout out to Pastor Ramsey doing it well. No, he just he breaks down stuff that it's not a whole bunch of and not to shit on nobody else's church. That's not what I'm trying to do here, but like all the yelling and the like I like to understand the message and understand what I think God is trying to teach me and I think he breaks it down well. So
You talking about
that's what I would say.
during his preaching? It's like all the yelling then.
During his preaching.
But you like it during the
Yes.
choir and the song and dance before. That is.
Oh yes, love the song and stuff, but like just the extra. Have you ever been to a church where the pastor was just extra and you like, okay, but what are we actually talking about here?
Yeah, he just yelling about
He
some
just
bullshit.
yelling.
Or he
and
start
I
talking
think
about his
down south,
past.
like, yeah. Well, sometimes you need to reflect on your past. Sometimes you got to do that.
Like,
I
that's
think
not
that
what
kind of
God
makes it
told you to do.
relatable sometimes. No, for real. But just it was certain things like that's what I was about to say. A lot of my family is from down south, and I feel like they just have a different way of preaching. And like I said, not to knock on it at all. Like, getting the word is getting the word, right? But I just like mine to. I like to feel like it's relatable, or that I can apply it to my own life.
Yeah, because usually what the pastors do, they'll I don't know how they be getting their verses for every week, but it seemed like they just maybe choose something during the week and they be like, all right, I'm gonna preach on this, and then sometimes it might apply to your life,
I
sometimes it
feel
might
like they
not.
just be
Right.
they be hearing rumors about people, and they be like, "Oh, I'm about to."
Yeah,
The
He just
church
calling
is
people out.
messy. Yeah, they like let's get it in. The
Yeah,
black
not
church
for
is
sure.
one of the messiest avenues or institutions to me, like ever. It can get so messy.
But and we kind of talked about this on a previous episode, where we were talking about like Jewish people, how they have places to meet, and get their business together. Like the black church, really one of the only institutions that we have where like this is our meeting place.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have a whole lot. Maybe you got the salons, barbershops. Maybe you got restaurants, maybe. But yeah, the black church is real important because like that's where we can sit and bring ideas together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. So like, so what made you? So it sounded like you maybe drifted away at some point, but like, what made you go back and be like, all right, well, I really actually do need the word. So let me, kind of go drift back over this way.
I think just being so focused on myself at the time, being selfish, honestly, because like I said, church has always been a big part of my life. But I think in college I was just a little more selfish with my time. I was going out. I didn't want to go and stream at 9:00 in the morning when I just got home at 6:00, like that kind of stuff. But I kind of just been more intentional and more dedicated to that part of my life. Because you do feel, or I do feel, when I do like stray away for a minute, it definitely has an effect on my life for sure.
Really? Okay. Damn. Maybe I should go back because I feel like I might have had a similar situation. Like I grew up in the church every Sunday, sometime Wednesdays, Bible study type shit, and then college came and I was like, church who? Church what?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But it's also kind of similar to you because like if you don't have your church home that you have back home, like in your college town, it's like I'm not about to go worship with these folks. I don't know what kind of demons they got that they could
Right.
pass on to me.
Right.
Type of
You
shit like
just
that.
don't know.
Yeah, so but I never went back though. Maybe I should go back, but
on
that's
now.
probably not gonna happen. So 2 things is not gonna happen this episode. The juice cleanse not gonna happen. And I'm not going back to church.
Okay. Okay. Well, at least
just
you
be
thought
saying
about
shit.
it. Listen, you thought about it.
I did. That's the thought that counts.
I
That's
think
what
the
they
juice
say.
cleanse gonna happen though. I kind of got faith in that one.
Yeah, I think it could. I just gotta. But juices are really expensive though. Like the one I want is like $500,
Yes.
and like trying to justify that price for a juicer is like I don't know.
It's a one-time purchase. You can use it forever. Lifetime purchase.
This is true. This is very true. So
I mean, it seemed pretty justified to me. I mean, if that's the only thing you gonna be consuming for 100 days,
You gonna consume? Yeah.
yeah, like you're not ordering out food no more. Like $500
true.
for 100 days. Like
That is
you should do
true.
that shit.
But I'm kind of curious is like how much I'm curious how much the fruits and vegetables will actually cost like every day because you got to juice goddamn 4 apples and 3 carrots and like
Yeah.
that's a lot of so I'm kind of
And
curious
fresh
about
fruit
that.
is expensive.
Very true. Yeah, I might have to find a farmer's market or some shit like that. But all right, let's kind of get into some fun shit right quick. So I kind of wanted to get everybody's opinion. Like I think everybody knows it's important that like when you sometimes the best time to listen to music is in the car. Like that's kind of, I feel like that's like a spiritual experience. You can sing, you can rap along to it, but when you have other people in the car, somebody might pass you the aux, and that's
Yeah,
important though.
that's
It's important when
important.
you get the aux, because if you get the aux, you play some bullshit, they're gonna rip that shit out your phone.
I'm the
So
first one to say, "Yo, bro, give me that."
yeah, yeah, turn that shit
up. I need that back.
Listen, everybody always want to rip the aux from me. I be playing some bullshit, y'all. I ain't gonna cap. I be playing some bullshit. It's my bullshit, okay?
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way. So like, kind of talk about that though. Like, so what's the first like? So if you get the aux, like, what you feel like is your go tos? Like maybe like three of them, top three.
Top three. Well, that's the thing. I listen to new music so much that there's just not no. I could maybe give you top three artists that I listen to with people in the car. If it's just me, that's a different story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll always put on some Drake. I'm a Drake stan. I'm a Drake fan forever. So I'll put some Drake on. Y'all fuck with the Drake? Y'all fuck with Jersey?
Yeah, he
I'll
cool.
end this shit right now.
He cool. He cool. I mean, that Her Loss was cool. He ain't my favorite. Like he used to be my favorite back in the day, but like no, I know Rod do though. Rod definitely was fucking with that Her Loss.
Yeah,
I was fucking with that.
Oh, you was fucking with it.
Yeah, but that CLB, I said that was garbage.
No, I ain't gonna lie. His older music is for sure just better in general, but like I said, Drake can do no wrong in my eyes, so I'm always gonna opt to him if anything.
So you actually like CLB?
Yeah, it's not. Here's the thing. I think with recent music, not even just Drake, but in general, I like playthroughs. Like I like complete playthroughs of albums, and I do. I think CLB is a complete playthrough? Absolutely not.
So it's trash.
But do I like it still? That is not what I'm saying. You put words in my mouth. It's not trash.
You said you can't play it through.
You can't play it all the way through, but does it have some great, amazing songs on there? Absolutely. You just can't play it all the way through.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about Scorpion. Like Scorpion had a few songs where I really loved it, but most of it to me was just like, it's filler music to me.
Yeah, filler.
Personally.
There was some fillers on there for sure.
I don't even remember what CLB had.
CLB, I don't know either.
Me neither. That ain't that crazy. I know they got Fountains. I know they got Race My Mind. Those are the songs that are coming to mind when I think about it.
And that one with Travis Scott, I forgot what that shit was called. But yeah, I feel like that was one of the ones that came and went that year. Like niggas got on his head for that album cover first.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, like niggas wasn't fucking with the album, like regardless if it was good or not, to be honest. But okay, so you got Drake. So like who else? What's some other artists that you playing like off the aux?
Off the aux with people? With people in the car with me? Oh, fuck.
With people, yeah.
Let me think. I might play some Larry June. People like Larry June. I fuck with him too. So I might. Babyface Ray. That's been, I think, one of my favorite artists now. I love me some Babyface Ray. And I think people can get jiggy with it. So.
No, I already said that was my most played artist last year.
Yes, I love Babyface Ray for real. But if it's just me, I'm going with Summer Walker every day, all day. If it's just me, we rocking with Summer Walker.
Oh, so you liked the last album?
Yes. I loved it.
Okay, I gotta check it out. I never heard it. That first album though, oh my god.
It was amazing.
Actually,
right?
really, I've heard all her shit except for her last album, and like Summer Walker is super dope.
So it's Drake, Summer Walker, and who's the third person?
Babyface Ray.
And Babyface Ray. So we pulling the aux or no? Like what we?
Or y'all gonna keep it?
I'm gonna keep the aux. What about you, Rod?
Yes.
It depends on the order.
It's taking you too fucking long. It's too long. You either fucking
Summer
with
Walker
it or you
last?
not. What, you don't like Summer Walker?
Is that last?
Sure, we'll end with her.
I don't know, but Summer Walker fire. I just feel like Rod, you got some type of vendetta against Summer Walker for some reason, but
What's
she
what
really actually
what's
hard
the
though.
issue?
So the thing with Summer Walker is she just makes like I feel like music for scorned women. Um, so it's not really some music that I feel like I can listen to on a day to day like that. Maybe if she made some music that was a little bit more vibrant.
I could see that. I honestly could see that because, like I said, I think I look to music for it to be a little bit relatable when it's singing, when it's like an R&B artist. So, yeah, as a woman, a scorned woman over here, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, so you relate to it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's why I just don't listen to it because I can't really relate to it. Um, maybe she just start talking a little bit better about man. Maybe
Then you'll feel
I can
it.
Why
turn
don't
it
they
on.
start treating her better? How about that?
Thank you. Thank you. But
See?
she got some love songs too, for sure.
No, she do.
That's
I
what's
just feel
up.
like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it sounds
You
like
really
you
don't
just
care.
give 0 fucks, and that's okay.
No, but okay. So Rod, how about you then? So like, who's somebody that you about to play? Like somebody in the car with you. You know, they pass you the aux. Like, what's some fire shit
Mm,
you gonna put on?
this is what I was saying. I was saying it depends on where we going. Like if we just vibing in the car, maybe just smoking or something. I picked a few songs for that. I'm gonna play probably Steve Lacy, Smino,
Okay, okay.
and Kendrick.
Kendrick, like the most recent Kendrick, like Mr. Morale shit.
I mean, I picked like 3 songs, but since we were just going with artists, um, I'll probably go to like some old Kendrick.
Yeah, I don't know if you can play like the Mr. Morale like in the car. It's not really a vibe, you know. But like you said, depending
What?
on where y'all
It's a vibe
going,
for me though. I
It's
like
a
Savior.
vibe.
Um,
it's a vibe, but not with people in the car. Like, I feel like that's one of the albums you got to listen to like by yourself to kind of take it all in.
Yeah, maybe so.
It's a few songs on there that you can, like Silent Hill with Kodak. Like you can play that.
Yes,
That's
that
kind of hype.
motherfucker is cold.
Yeah, or like shit. That might be the only one.
nah,
To be
there's
honest.
plenty of songs on there. Rich.
Rich Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, Rich Spirit.
What's that one with Blast? Somebody else.
I mean,
Die
I fuck with
Hard.
Savior.
Yeah, Savior
Yeah,
good. Savior good. Okay.
I think you just hating that.
Nah, I mean the album was good, but I feel like there's not no vibe. Like if I got the homies in the car or a woman in the car, like I'm not playing Kendrick Lamar. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna play that because it's not the it's not the vibe that I'm trying to set. Because I feel like we got to break this down. Like it depends on who's in the car first. Like which one of your people is in the car because they might, you know, I would try to cater it to what they want to listen to. So if I know Tristan like to listen to Drake, I'd be like, all right, let me throw some Drake on. I know Rod want to listen to Kendrick, I'm gonna throw some Kendrick on. Um, but if I'm just going freestyle, like give me NBA YoungBoy, give me
Pull the ox.
I don't
Give me
care.
that shit.
I don't
Immediately?
you
Oh my god.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
young boy. Like, who you in the car with? Little kids?
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm still playing that shit. I'm sorry. NBA YoungBoy, give me damn. That might be it. I might just play through NBA YoungBoy discography to be honest.
What? Come
I know
on
that's
now.
crazy,
That is
but
insane.
it is.
young
But I
boy,
just
young boy, young boy.
Top 3.
I don't know because I really don't be like I said. I'm gonna cater it to what the person in the car likes. I like NBA YoungBoy, so that's what I'm gonna play. Just maybe throw it in there and like add it to the queue, something like that. But for the most part, I'm gonna just probably keep it NBA YoungBoy. I'm gonna keep it South. Like I might throw some like maybe some Future. I might throw some Future on.
Yeah, there's some future in there.
Yeah, I might throw some Future. Maybe some. I don't know. I think Kendrick would be a good choice, but not new Kendrick. So maybe some like classic Kendrick, like Mad City, backseat freestyle type shit. Like I think that's what I would throw on.
I mean, if it's the setting that you're talking about, then probably Frank Ocean.
Yeah, I
No,
love
because
Frank Ocean.
I do, but I don't like listening to his music with other people around. Like that's not. some artists you just gotta vibe by yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not listening to Blonde with the homies. That's just not. That's not. That just don't make sense, you know. It's something that you like. I don't know.
You don't think you can play Strawberry Swings?
I love Strawberry Swing though. I love Strawberry Swing, but no, I would never play that
No,
shit
you were
like with the.
saying like a lady in the car too.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's a good point. Like, yeah, yeah. I would throw
then
some
that's
like.
why I play Frank Ocean and maybe instead of Kendrick. But
So let's do that. So let me speak on that. So if I got a lady in the car, I don't think I would go Frank Ocean straight up. I might do like a Lucky Day. I might do a Sir.
Yeah.
I might do a Steve Lacy, like
Jay-Z?
you said. Jay Z with a woman in the car.
I like Jay-Z. I might be liking it.
It's a hard knock life.
That's crazy. I guess it depends on what type of mood I'm trying to set. Like we just going to the grocery store. Yeah, I throw the Jay Z on, but otherwise, nah. Like I'm not playing that camel faced ass nigga.
Oh my
Like,
god.
no. Okay, I might have to cut that out. I'm sorry, Rock Nation. Anyway.
They know what's up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
H to the is O.
I swear, he about to shut this whole podcast down in a minute. I ain't gonna lie. Damn, we can't be on title no more.
Right, that ain't fucking with y'all. Jay-Z slander, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's not happening. But okay, so yes, so I think that we all had some good choices on the aux. Hopefully, the listeners wouldn't pull the aux on any of us. Let us know if you will pull the aux or like what's your choices. Let us know in the comments. Other than that, let's kind of get into something else I wanted to speak about today. Let's talk about Tristan. I kind of wanted to ask you because I see a lot of people that have been kind of shit. Like I don't know how familiar you are, or like how much you pay attention to like male driven podcasts and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen like the talk about like, oh, there's so much misogyny and there's so much, they just hate women, hate black women specifically. Like, do you have any thoughts, or like do you have any insight on like where is this coming from, or like do you feel the same type of way about like male driven podcast shows, or do you have an opinion on it at all?
Well, let me say this. I'm not really a lot of the podcasts that I listen to are more female driven. Like I said, I usually like to listen to stuff that I can relate to, but I have seen little clips from, I think there's one podcast specifically called Tonight's Conversation, and they'll be talking about certain topics in terms of relationships or just men and women in general. And I do be seeing some stuff. Like there's this guy that said he wanted an impressionable woman, and they was like, so that you can manipulate her. And he's like, no, because I want her, like I want to lead her, I want her to, and all the stuff that he was saying is like, okay, but you do want to manipulate someone or control someone. So that kind of stuff, I'd be like, okay, that's misogyny at its finest. But I don't know.
I got a question there.
Yeah.
So for a male to lead, no, I'm just saying, for a male to lead, is that misogyny thinking?
No, I don't believe so, because I feel like me in relationships, me specifically, I'm pretty submissive. But if you want a woman that's impressionable, like easy to control or easy to manipulate her mind, if you want that so that you can lead, like, then that's an issue. You should just be a leader, and a woman should want to follow that, I think, based on her decisions alone, not because she's impressionable or easily swayed.
No, that's real. I think that's real, because that's a big difference between being impressionable and being.
I feel like that could be mistaken with like just being soft spoken.
What do you mean?
Like if a lady can be soft spoken and then the man can take over in that sense or lead, and there wouldn't be that much back and forth because she's soft spoken.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. That's why I said, I mean, I have no issue with a man leading in terms of relationship, especially long term. But I don't want you to come in with the mind that I want to be able to press my ideas up on you so that you can ultimately like follow that same routine that I do. Because I'm never going to just completely disregard my thoughts or how I feel about a certain thing because you think your way is better. Like I think it should be some type of compromise, especially if you are wanting to lead. Like, can you at least have my opinion in that thought process? I guess.
No, I think that makes sense because it's like so. Like I was watching this show called White Lotus on HBO, and this lady had married this rich dude. Like she didn't really come from a lot of money, and he did.
Yes.
So she married rich,
Mm-hmm.
and like she had a job previously, and she was like a journalist, which I think we all know journalists don't make the
A
most
lot of
money.
money.
So she was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of she was just kind of getting by and stuff like that. But so her husband had a conversation with her and was like, you should just quit that job. Like you don't even need that. Like if you're gonna be with me, just go, be that, raise the house and raise the kids and all that type of shit. Like you don't even, why are you even doing that? Like that's what
That's
it.
lit.
No, but that's impressionable because you don't want her to have her own life. So you just trying to you want to brainwash her to live the way that you want her to be versus how she want to be. If that's what the lady wanted to do, then that's cool. But she didn't want to do that. But she was gonna go with it because that's what her new husband wanted. And yeah, that shit. When I hear impressionable, I don't know. That shit sound like
Just to play the devil's advocate, though, just a little bit.
okay.
So she couldn't do blogs from home and take care of the kids and everything,
She
or
could.
try to.
She could. I watched
That's
that
a
show too.
compromise.
I think it is
Oh,
a
you did?
compromise. Yeah, I did watch that show too, or at least the first season, because the show itself was fucking ridiculous and retarded. But
It
anyways,
was.
that's
Yeah.
beyond what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, they could have came to that compromise. I think that, like Matt was saying, though, it was kind of like he was like, "Well, you don't need to. We have money now. You don't need to do that petty work for money." Where it's like, okay, but that's a dream of hers, so she could do blog posts from home if that satisfied, her her dream, I guess, or her passion for it. But that's where that boils down to. And I don't think anybody should give up on something just because you don't have to do it no more, or that's not where your life is taking you anymore.
Yeah, and that's just weird how niggas be trying to control women. Like that's just kind of it's strange to me.
Yeah, it's
Like
very strange.
if she don't submit on her own, because like you were saying, Tristan, like if a man is showing him, I don't want this to become fresh and fit or like a one of them type of podcasts, but like if a man is leading in the right way, then and you show a woman that you leading, then she gonna follow. Like period.
Yeah, I think that's just off rip. I don't think a woman ever doesn't want a man to lead, honestly. But you do want to have some sense of control on your own life. Like, you don't want to just be doing something because your nigga told you to. Or at least I don't.
No, that's real. That's real. So you kind of spoke about you listen to more female driven podcasts. Like, what kind of topics do you like to listen to when you do listen? Like, is it a sex podcast? Would they be talking about fucking all the time? Like, what type of shit is it?
You know, yes, I listen to sex podcasts. Like, I like to hear other people's experiences in the bedroom. I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, I'm such a like hopeless romantic type. I like just listening to a relationship podcast or just how people navigate in relationships. Honestly, or navigate in the professional world, like just different stuff that I feel like I could relate to.
Okay, no, that's real. That's real. I mean, yeah, and I feel like if a man had the same type of podcast, maybe like navigating relationships, we have a different type of perspective. From
Yeah.
a man's perspective versus a woman's perspective. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, since we're already on on the topic like relationships and things like that, um, I had like this separate question, and it was related to like a male and a female, like they have sex or whatever. I feel like a lot of the terms that we come up with is super violent. Like, why is that?
Give an example. Like
Yeah, like
fucking.
smash, hit, fuck the shit out of, a kill.
Yeah, kill. Yeah.
Like, why is it why is it such a violent word on it? Like, I don't get it. Like, is that just like American or?
I don't think it's American. I honestly think that sometimes I think porn does that type of stuff. Like it's just this sex culture where sex is just so like, oh, it's so hardcore and it's all this stuff. And I don't know if that gets niggas rowdy or what. But sometimes even as a woman, I think you kind of like hardcore sex from time to time. Sometimes you want it to be romantic and slow and easy, but sometimes you want to get fucked the shit out of. So
It's a
I don't
balance.
know. Yeah, it's a balance to it. I don't know how we got to that terminology though, as a society.
I feel like there's no endearing terms for it
Make
that I hear
love.
of, anyways.
You can make love.
Oh.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's one.
That's one though, the
I
one and
can't.
only.
Yeah, I can't think of no other ones to be honest. I really can't. I don't know, but I have a perspective on this, which is I'm gonna throw us under the bus right quick. I'm gonna be PC. So I feel like I feel like we look at women as like not animals. That's
You're a
not
real
the
feminist.
you can a feminist.
And I love a feminist. I love feminists too.
Oh my god. No, but like okay. So I feel like men sometimes we look at women as like a piece of meat. You know what I mean? So like if you hunting a deer, you killing a deer. You know what I mean? Or I feel like men try to kind of equate women as that sometimes. So we might use those terms like, oh yeah, I just killed shorty, or like yeah, like I smashed shorty, type of shit like that. Because I feel like it's not. I ain't gonna say it's a lack of respect for women that we have, which sometimes we do, but I just feel like that's what it is. Like it's
Is it not the same way in reverse, Tristan?
It can be for sure. I mean, yes, I will say even at a point in my life, well, I'm not gonna put myself out there, but yes, I think it can be like that, where you like, oh yeah, I just fucked this nigga, like, and treat niggas, objectify niggas, not even treat them like real people, like, hey, we smashed and that was it. But do you always want that as a woman? No. I think it really just depends on the nigga that you're dealing with. If they on that tip, then you kind of go match that energy. Like, well, shit, I ain't shit, but a piece of pussy to you, that's all you gonna be to me, some dick. But I think growing now, I do not like that kind of stuff. Like, I really don't. Like I said, I like hardcore sex. I like when we can get into it and get nasty and talk our shit. But you also want to romanticize the event a little bit, especially now that I'm older. Like, I like that romantic aspect or that intimate aspect of sex. So it can go both ways for women, just like I feel like it can for men if they like the girl.
I mean, I'm sure there's some lover boys out there that only refer to it as making love. Like I'm pretty sure there is. Like
I'm
everybody don't say,
so
"Oh, I
sure.
smashed."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I guess it could work both ways. But I mean, is there a problem, Rod? Do you feel like there's a problem with those terms, or like, do you even hear them a whole lot? Because I feel like I haven't heard nobody say like those type of terms in a minute. To be honest, maybe because I'm getting older. But have you heard that recently?
I just feel like with social media, you hear it a lot. But I can't say necessarily in my own circles. I'm hearing it that much. Because I feel like as people get older, a lot more people become more private. I mean, unless
Yeah.
they go on OnlyFans.
Then
No,
they're
that shit
not
Um,
ain't private at
private.
all.
No. Well,
yeah.
it's a
And
subscription.
there's
It's private to some people.
yeah.
Shit, $5.99 ain't nothing. So we can log on and see all that shit.
Yeah. So I think culture just getting a little different now. So I don't think it's the same as back in the day. Like, people are being so PC. I feel like with the internet, everyone got an opinion, and everyone's gonna be more open. I think sooner or later, like there's gonna be a way where all our information is just gonna be out there automatically. I think.
I mean, that's why we got to be careful. Stop saving them pictures and taking the videos and shit. Like,
Yeah.
because you can't get that shit stolen from iCloud or whatever the fuck you storing that shit on. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that shit would. I don't know. I would be traumatized if like one of my videos or one of my pictures got leaked. Like that shit would be traumatizing. So imagine being a celebrity. Like I remember Amber Rose shit got leaked at one time. I mean, I enjoyed it, but like looking back on it, it's like, damn. Like, I know she was probably traumatized because like her privacy was, like violated. So
Yeah, I'm sure she was real traumatized by that. That's fucked up.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I think that's all the topics that we got for today. If I'm not mistaken, did we forget anything, right?
Uh, we just got this last one here. China reportedly made an app to show people if they're standing near someone in debt. It's a new part of intrusive social credit policy.
Hmm.
So I just thought, just in general, that was pretty interesting. Um, Imagine just like walking around and being able to, like, even in a relationship, if we were to think about it that way, like a lot of people
Yeah.
can just
And
like
you can see how
pull the
much
app and
debt people are in.
be like, you broke, like, and then woman just won't speak to you.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Like that, I don't know. I just thought the idea would be insane, and what y'all think about it.
Me personally, I'm just kind of reading through this article trying to figure out what's the use though. Like, is that really what it's for? Just to find out if people broke around you for real?
Well, I think that they said it was trying to basically um, incentivize people to report debtors. Like maybe if they owe the IRS or something, that you would report them.
Uh,
But even then, that's crazy, and that just creates a whole different social construct. Because now people don't want to be near you because you might report them to the IRS that they owe you some money, and now people killing each other because you done told on them. Like that's just a lot of different shit.
that is true. Now, yeah, you looking into the future because that is what could happen though. Like, people might really be ostracized and be like, all right, I can't even go outside, or
Hmm.
like even the snitches might get,
That's what I'm
snitches might get
saying.
stitches too.
Snitches get stitches, and I could already see people being like, "Oh hell no, nah. You told on me. I was around you last Tuesday. Now they on my ass."
Right. This is really crazy.
I
I mean,
always tell people don't do crime, and like you don't gotta worry about you ain't gotta worry about no snitching. Like, just don't be around this shit.
I mean,
like, like if you're not around this
Oh my
shit, like you should
god.
be good.
Yeah, if
Like,
you pay your shit, pay your debts, motherfucker.
true,
yeah,
but
pay what you owe.
having debt not no crime though.
That's not a crime. That's why I said. I mean, that's actually just crazy. And like you said, that debt does turn people off of you. Like even bad, somebody could tell you their credit is bad, and you're like, oh shit. Well, you don't make good decisions, like lifestyle choices, so
Hmm.
I can't fuck with you, type shit. Um, so I don't know. I could see the pro. I could see what they were trying to do with it, but I think there's a lot more cons that outweigh the pros with that kind of scenario. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, I feel like they want the citizens to do the work versus doing the work themselves.
Themselves,
They
yeah.
kind of pushing it off like, all right, y'all go ahead and you be our minions and go catch these people.
Well,
When
it's so many motherfuckers in China. They like we can't
nah,
keep
for
up with this
real.
shit.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I mean, I feel like if they already have the location in the app of the person, like you're sending the location to people, you already know where they at. So just
Right.
go collect your debt. But that's a really crazy concept. I hope they don't do
Hmm.
that here.
Okay.
Did
Cause
y'all
It's
watch
pretty fucked
Black
up.
Mirror?
yeah, I
Yes.
watched Black Mirror.
There was one episode that I think I remember where everyone had a rating and
Yeah, yep.
every interaction and everything like that, the rating would go either up or down.
Yes.
So I'd imagine like in the future, they probably like put chips in everyone, like right from birth or something like that. So you can check your health, um, maybe kind of like your internet, um, a way to keep track of you, like all that kind of stuff will be like all embedded in you from like birth. So when they be able to like tell like all that kind of stuff, like social media, like say like an Amber Rose or anything like that, like she was ended up being looked at, or those kind of videos and stuff, like it'll all be like all the information would just be out there. Would that be a problem? If like if everything was out there, then there would be no like shaming anyone.
That's a way to look at it. I think it would still be an issue. I mean, that's like people get married all the time and don't know like the health background of their spouse or don't know the financial background of their spouse. So it might limit that type of stuff, but I think that kind of stuff is almost a part of life. Like you almost taking away a part of life. Um, giving out all that information about people. But it could be good. It could be a good thing because I would hate to be with a nigga and I realize, oh my god, this nigga's a murderer with 3 kids
Yeah.
and diabetes, and I didn't know all that shit before we had got married. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or even if they have like herpes or like HIV or some
Yeah,
shit like
yeah.
that. Like, those are good informations to know.
No, it would be for sure. I think yeah, maybe it would break down that shame factor and that stigma factor of a lot of shit. Like HIV has such a stigma, like where people are like, I don't want to catch that shit, or like, you know, like Tristan said, like a murderer or like somebody with diabetes. Like those things have stigma. So maybe if we was open with everything, like put everything on the app, like yo, just run down my list. This is what I got. This is what I don't got. You know, debt wise, health wise, all that shit. Now you fuck with me or not? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe that would break down the stigma.
Yeah, I just think with social media, people are already telling on themselves. So it's like, why not? Like, what's the big deal of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cops are just looking at social media anyways and figuring out crime or who's with who and piecing together things anyways. So
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, people gon' keep telling on themselves regardless. I don't know why people keep doing this shit. Like people are recording themselves doing crimes. People are recording themselves fucking, you know, whatever the fuck they're doing that's illegal or stupid. Like TikTok might be the death of us for real. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yes.
Do you fuck with TikTok, Tristan?
I am not a huge I'll watch TikToks if somebody sends them to me, but am I an avid TikTok user? No, like I don't have the app on my phone.
Really?
Just because that kind of stuff. Yeah, I never have gotten into TikTok really like that. I think I more so go to Twitter, and Twitter is also just like an unfiltered place with videos and stuff. So I think it kind of puts off the same type of energy, but I ain't never really got into TikTok like that.
has Twitter changed since Elon? I'm not on Twitter right now, so that's what I'm asking.
Honestly, no. I think that Twitter has always been unfiltered, right? But I think they be having a lot more different shit, like stuff. It don't even give you a sensitive content like warning anymore. It's just like shit is just out there. So I'll say that's the only thing that has changed.
I be hearing Twitter is like the place that's like, it's pretty much like porn. Like,
oh yeah, if you want to get your rocks off, you can go to Twitter and do that.
yeah, that's why I heard Twitter is like a lot of people just go there for that.
Just for that?
Yeah, just for porn?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You might need to check them motherfuckers. They got something else going on.
No, but the crazy thing is, like, you ain't even got to search for the shit these days, like, because usually I go on Twitter sometimes and I'll like, what's the trending topics of the day? Like, it might be fucking LeBron James. I click on LeBron James. The fourth post is like somebody getting their back blown out, and I'm like, well, this don't even have nothing to do with LeBron James. What's going on? So it's like Twitter is like the wild, wild west, like never before.
Yeah,
I never experienced that on Twitter before, but it's a crazy world out here. So is that your view on social media in general, though, Tristan? Like you kind of just try to stay away from it for the most part, or like, how do you feel about it?
I hate to admit it, but I love social media. I will spend a lot more screen time than I would like to admit on Twitter and Instagram. I think really it's just habitual at this point. Because if I didn't have it, I think I'd be fine without it. But like you said, if you want to look up a trending topic or just for entertainment, temporary entertainment, it's there. So no, I fuck with the social medias. I do, and I post and all types of stuff. But TikTok just did not stand out to me. Like a lot of my friends, I have a friend that be on TikTok every day and be making videos and having her a good ass grand ass time. And I've never gotten down into that.
Yeah, I feel like that's for the kids. I feel like we can lead that to the teens and what's that Gen Z or whoever the
fuck. This dude said young boy.
And you talking about the kids. Nigga, he got TikTok too. He got a TikTok.
Man,
he probably do.
He's something else.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about he probably.
I mean, no. I do. I've spent a sick amount of time watching like TikTok compilations. Like I think some of them are funny because I was a big Vine fan. Like I love Vine.
Yeah,
That's like I was so mad when Vine like
left. I
shut down or
was
whatever.
too.
So yeah, so it's like I still do watch TikTok compilations that may remind me of what Vine was, but I don't be scrolling on TikTok. Like I have one, but I log on like once every blue moon.
Hmm.
But
So what do
but
you be
yeah,
searching on Twitter?
Who, me?
No, like yeah, Tristan. Says she has the Twitter, and you say you're kind of big on that one.
I'm big on celebrity gossip. I'll search all the celebrity shit. Or just anything. If I hear, oh, this and this such and such happened, I'll go on there.
What just
And
happened?
what just happened?
Yeah.
I don't know, nothing recently. Let me tell you, I also get on Twitter.
No.
I'll just scroll through my TL and I like funny posts. Like, people be saying funny ass shit on there, and I just enjoy reading that shit. So it's not even like I just be searching a whole bunch of shit. I don't like I said, if I see a trending topic or see like, oh, Ari and Herbo again, I will look that shit up because I want to know what the fuck is the tea, right? But other than that, that's really it.
I feel like with Twitter, you gotta follow certain people to get those kind of tweets, or even see it on your timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Like I
At least
remember
that's how it
this.
was back in the past. But
It kind of is. It kind of is. I remember this girl that I went to high school with. We was talking about remember when they used to say black Twitter versus white Twitter? She'd be like, "There's no such thing." I'm like, "Bitch, yes there is, because your Twitter ain't got shit that mine got." But it's because of the people
at
that I
all.
follow and the posts that I like frequent or that I like. They kind of target tweets to you after they see that you've liked a certain thing. So yeah, you do have to follow certain people, and you gotta like, and it's the algorithm. It's all about the algorithm.
That is true. I remember Black MSU Twitter used to be a thing too, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like they was trying to get that shit popping. So like yeah, it's really just different pockets of the internet, but it's a lot of fun like anywhere you go.
dog,
Hmm.
like Black MSU Twitter,
Yeah.
man, that was
A time.
kind of yeah, that was a time. Remember they pull up that like
Don't
that
say
web.
it. Please don't say it. I
Please
already
say
think I know
it.
what you mean.
Please say it, because I don't think I know. I don't think I know. I want to peep now. I'm like, I want to hear what it is.
Oh my god, bro. Please don't say it.
I'm intrigued. You literally have to fucking say it. Y'all should have never brought that shit up and start
Oh
laughing, because now
man.
I gotta know.
Right, take it away.
All right, I guess. On Black Twitter or MSU Twitter, they made this page where they pointed out all the people who were sex offenders,
Oh, yes.
and
Yeah.
that shit just kind of blew.
That shit was
Oh my
wild.
god,
That shit was wild for sure.
man!
Yeah, that was
It's like
terrible.
you see people like you see every day, or
Yeah.
like people that like you just come in crossing with, like that shit is just insane.
No, it
Like
truly
damn, I seen him
is.
at a party last night. Like I seen him
Yeah.
probably doing some nasty shit.
Doing some
You know, it's
rapey
really weird.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit?
I definitely did. I do remember that. So it's funny that y'all say that. Yeah, I do remember that. And I remember thinking like, damn, that's crazy that all these people are on here. But there are so many people that I know that have done fucked up shit that did not get called out. And so I think that's what's even crazier. I mean, that shit is just, the rape culture was high at MSU. It was kind of
That's
fucked
what I
up.
heard.
It was kind of really fucked up, especially being a lady. Like, not to say bitches can't do shit. I'm sure bitches could get called out. They probably just don't get called out as much, but bitches be on crazy stuff too. But yeah, that was nuts. And I have firsthand witnessed some shit that should not have happened. So
Me
was it
too.
a good or bad thing to be called out? I don't know, because that ruins people's reputations as a whole. But
Yeah,
hey.
I'm not trying to point you out specifically or
Mhm.
say you have to say anything specific or make it weird in that sense, but how was it like in your experience?
It was bad. Like I definitely I've already considered myself, and not now, but even then, going to a new school and it's out of state and I'm not knowing anybody. I was really naive coming into MSU. So did I have like situations, nothing like super crazy, no. But I did have some situations where I was like, okay, this should not be going on. For me personally. So yeah, it was fucked up to see people called out, and like I said, even people that have tried to fuck with me on a crazy ass tip, or they wasn't called out, and I'm not gonna say anything just because that's the type of person I am. But do I think back like, damn, should I have said something? I do sometimes.
A lot of. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
just
you're fine. You're
interjecting,
fine.
but in those instances, were they necessarily like parties or kickbacks, or was it just normal going to
Interaction.
class, going to meeting at the club, or was it always intoxicated?
I want to say yes. It was pretty much always intoxicated in my situation. Um, do I think that's an excuse? No, because I just don't. I understand, like, you get a little horny when you get some liquor in you. Like, that's just natural, right? But to force yourself up on someone or force an idea or be trying to persuade someone or sway, like that, I just don't feel like that's necessary. So, but it has always been in like a setting like that for sure. And the fucked up thing to say, sorry everybody of the Divine Nine, but it be like frat and sorority shit. It really do. A lot of the times.
Yeah.
So
I saw a lot of them on that page.
I did too.
Yeah, no, that's the type of shit I would be seeing too. Like seeing niggas feed alcohol to women just to get them to like maybe fuck with them is just weird to me. You know what I mean? Like that's just
Yeah.
like
That was big in college. But to be fair though, everybody was going there to get fucked up though.
Yes, you're going there to get fucked up, but you're not necessarily going there to get fucked. Like sometimes you just want to go
right.
out and have
Oh
a
no,
good
there's
ass
definitely
time.
a difference. Like we're just talking about having fun, but
Yeah,
I
but
guess
yeah.
definitely the experience is for sure different. Yeah, like
There's some people
you gotta
have
be
different
more aware.
motives. You have to be aware, and that's what I was saying. As a freshman coming into school, I did not have that awareness. So I think once I picked up on that, you'd be like, okay, well, let me drink less. Let me only take drinks from where I know where the source is. Like you can't even take drinks from niggas no more.
Yeah.
They'll put some in your drink.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I've
it
seen
just
that
builds
happen at
awareness.
MSU.
I've experienced that. So, like I said, it's really just creating awareness.
And then what does alcohol do? Take your awareness away.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really some nasty shit going on, and
That's real scary though.
Mm-hmm.
it is. You know that women could just be taken advantage of just because a nigga just weird and
They
extra
want to
horny for no
slip
reason.
fucking drugs in there like they fucking Cosby.
I remember my homeboy got roofied. That shit was funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
That's
That shit,
You said
crazy
your
though.
homeboy got roofied?
yeah.
That's
Like a
fucking
dude?
insane though.
Yes, a dude, homeboy.
Like
Right.
a girl roofied his shit?
I can't remember.
But that's why I said let's not discredit the women too, because there's some weird ass women out here. Like I think I did not
That's
realize
true.
how weird females can get. And they can. Like it's just bitches are just as strange. I just don't think there's a spotlight put directly on it all the time.
Yeah, we should have more stories about that though. Like more about women doing that. Like if you
Yeah.
really want the dick that bad, like
Yes, you gonna roofie this nigga drink.
what?
This
I'm about to
nigga
put him to sleep.
soft. Okay, he's soft as hell, and you trying to fuck him. Like, girl, what?
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this is how I look at it though. Like, yeah, maybe women might do dirt too, but at the same time, like I look at like the serial killers. Like, we don't really know too many.
That's dark.
Female.
But I'm just saying, yeah, we don't know any like women serial killers like that. It's mostly men. You know what I mean? So I kind of like, I ain't gonna say that's just as egregious. I ain't gonna put it on the same level
Mm-hmm.
or even try to compare it. But I just kind of look at it like people doing egregious shit. Like, who is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of put the onus on men, to be honest. But I guess women could do it too. You know, I've never seen it like in my
No,
like
I
in front
haven't
of my
seen it
face, but
firsthand either, because that would be fucking
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
You definitely
So
gotta look at the majority in this case. So yeah, it is mostly men.
this is true. All right, that's my last time shitting on men. This podcast.
No,
This my last
I
time. I
enjoyed
promise.
it. Please continue to do more.
No, no, no. I can't be too much of a feminist.
I just could. I didn't even believe like Matt had that many views, like support. Like
Yes, I love it.
that's what's up. I'm just playing devil's advocate this podcast, people. I'm not really like for
Yeah, yeah.
like all that shit. I'm just building conversation, being like building up conflict sometimes. But
That's real. Okay, we respect that. We respect it. But I think I think we done talked about a lot of good things this episode. So Tristan, we definitely appreciate you for coming through. I think we had a great conversation.
Me too.
So thank you. I guess any last words before we get out of here?
Well, thank y'all for having me. I really have enjoyed this little conversation that we had. I think we did touch on a lot of
For
good
sure.
topics, and I'm glad I could be here to do it with y'all. So thank you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. So this has been the Friends Podcast. If you got this far, thank you so much for listening. And we out. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
peace and love.